Boy, there's a lot of handsome in studio right now. A lot of goodness. JJ Gordon, welcome back to Fargo.
Well, thank you very much. I had a wonderful time down in Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Yeah.
And now I'm back, and you can't see it, but I'm peeling everywhere under my shirt. Shedding. It is awful.
Shedding, in fact. Mm-hmm. I wanted to have you on the show. And by the way, if you don't know who JJ Gordon is, he is like KFGO royalty. He is celebritized all across Fargo for his improv comedy. And then he also serves as our show's producer. So
right. I read your news segments every week. Yeah.
And you press like record and like stop recording.
Yeah.
Same button, actually.
I'm really a big deal. When it comes down to it, I'm just a huge deal.
JJ, so you were down at the Sandals Resort in Jamaica.
Right where Michael Scott went in The Office.
Oh, my God. There's so many great references of all the things we could talk about, but I'm not sure that everybody's going to get our Office references the entire time.
Everyone in the world hasn't seen The Office yet?
I guess not.
Oh, okay.
I challenge you to braid at least one little strand of your hair, and it's not here right now.
What if I told you I did, but I've already taken it out?
Where's the picture?
Well, I'm waiting for it. It's a Christmas card that we're putting out this year. And it's a single braid. It's all I had patience for the hair for.
Have you ever done goofy Christmas cards prior?
Every year. My wife and I set really a high bar for Christmas cards.
Yep.
Starting years ago, we had one that was called Stashing Through the Snow, and we all wore fake mustaches. And I'm like, okay next year, how are we going to up that?
By the way, your mustache right now is...
I haven't shaved since I've been home, but thank you.
Boy, you are bursting with testosterone right now.
You should have seen me at the end of No Shave November when I finally shaved it off. Jill was like, well, good, we don't even have to clean the sink. There's nothing in there. So thanks to my wife.
Cute little peach fuzz.
2 years ago, we did a card that was in 3D, so we sent 3D glasses with it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we really amp it up.
Why am I not on your Christmas list? I feel like
I will get you one.
Yeah, I need to get on that list.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it.
Okay, and this year's is you in your single braid?
Single braid, so I think people are going to enjoy it. And I've had this dream of doing this particular card for years, and it just all came to fruition when we were down in Jamaica.
Nice.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Nice. I did a Christmas card. This was back in college, and so I was single, and my roommate at the time was from Mazatlan, Mexico. His name is Noel, and he's 5'5" and awesome accent, right? Just different than what we hear around here.
I'm very festive with the name Noel.
I know, and the movie Elf had just come out, and so we're like, okay, I'm going to be your big fat elf. And so he went as Mexiclaus, and I went as his 6'2", 300-pound elf. And we camped outside of Best Buy for Black Friday. And then we, which was just hilarious and funny. We did our Christmas cards in those costumes. And then we went to the mall. And JJ, we went to the mall dressed up just in these funny costumes. And I see this guy run towards us and grabs us by the arm and drags us to the back room of the mall. There's a back room in the mall. You probably didn't know that.
I did not.
And he says, "Who do you work for?" And we're like, the North Pole. And he's like, "No, I'm serious. Who do you work for?" Like, dude, we're just out here having fun. And he goes, "You listen and you listen good. There's only room for one Santa in this mall." And he kicks us out. Yeah, so I've been kicked out of the mall. It's kind of a big...
I got kicked out of the mall because they said I was acting like a big bird. Yeah, right. Let that sink in. I was 18 years old, and they're like, "I saw you from across the food court, and you're acting like a big bird." And I said,
"Get out of here! You're tainting the pretzel maker."
Right. Like, we don't want birds of any kind, whether they're imaginary or real, inside the mall.
That is foul.
Yeah, it's what is what
you do. You see that double entendre that I did?
You're really layering it up, Eric.
Thank you very much.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
real quick.
please.
So this is a show about real estate.
It is.
So
we haven't mentioned a house once yet. Yeah.
My stocking stuffer for everyone this year, though, is your book.
Is it really?
Yeah. So I ordered 5 copies of your book.
Did you seriously?
Yeah,
dude, that's so cool.
I think it's a fantastic book. It's a wonderful read. That wasn't even where I was going with this, but this is it. I just read about the house in Winnetka, Illinois, that was the exterior for Home Alone. Mm-hmm. They listed it on the market for $2.5 million. It sold for $1.5 million.
Wow!
And the agent said one of the reasons that it wasn't selling was every time they had a showing, there were always people slowing down, getting out, taking pictures, running into the lawn. Mm-hmm. What if you were representing a house that's famous?
Yeah.
How does that go into trying to get it sold?
So that's such a good question. And years ago, do you remember the giveaway house? Designer Homes did a giveaway house. It was a $500,000 beautiful property, and literally thousands of people walked through that house. It was known as the giveaway house, but now it's just another house in the neighborhood. It's out in the wilds in West Fargo, and I sold that. I had the person who won the house sold it back to the builder and took their money. And so this house sat, and it was a $500,000 house. My clients got it at a steal of a price because it was labeled as the giveaway house. But we said, how long are you going to live here, and how many memories are people going to have that's going to stay with it? So I think a Home Alone house is different. By the way, what did Kevin McAllister's dad do to be able to afford that house?
I just looked this up. He is listed as a businessman, but you never get into this.
Okay.
But his mother is listed as a fashion designer. That's why they have all the mannequins in the house. Oh. Doesn't that make so much more sense?
Yeah, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah. So super wealthy Chicago people.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Fashion designer and businessman.
Yeah.
How great. So if it's a house that's been on TV like that, if you live in the full house, I'm sorry, it's always going to have pictures taken. Always. If you live in Kevin McAllister's house, it's always going to have pictures, and it's going to be devalued because of that, because you're living a life of interruptions. If you live in the giveaway house in Fargo where it was given away 5 or 6 years ago, people forget. Or, that even happens, and switching gears totally, if a house has a death that takes place in it, or God forbid, a murder or a suicide, and that just happens in life sometimes, those houses originally take a hit, and then traditionally it's forgotten, or at least it's not investigated enough. And there's disclosure laws in each of our states that says what you do and don't have to disclose.
I always thought, because I visited Johnny Carson's childhood home, and the people who own it now just put a sign in the front yard that's, yep, this is Johnny Carson's house. And they encourage people to come and take pictures there. But they were really smart. When the house was starting to fall apart, they did a GoFundMe saying, hey, you don't want Johnny Carson's house to go down. And they raised a ton of money to rebuild chunks of the house that, nobody else gets to go in. It's not a museum. They just gave this family money because they happened to live in a house that was semi-famous.
Oh my gosh. JJ, we're going to run out of time talking about this.
We are.
Let me ask this is, in your stocking stuffer, you're going to give my book, which is super cool. And you have your Christmas card coming out. Do you do everything that's just a little different than everyone else? Because I love that about you, is you approach it not by giving socks.
Yeah, this year, Jill and I are focusing on community as part of our gifts. And so what we decided was we'd rather give people something that's going to mean something to somebody else, and therefore have a deeper meaning to them than a toaster.
Yeah.
So we do like to look at things and say, well, how are we going to do this just a little bit differently?
Yeah.
But I take a page right out of your book most of the time. I'm very, very honored to produce your show every year.
Thank you, Brian.
And I've learned a lot about who you are as a person, and I'm kind of following in your footsteps a little bit, but I'm going to do it way better.
I guess we'll wrap with that. JJ Gordon, everyone, we're going to go to break. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.
Am I throwing it to my own news now? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
okay.
throw it.
To JJ with the news.